Hey, 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 hey. Good evening, everyone. It's Sunday evening, wherever it is. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's super, super great to be here. Another Sunday, and it's time to connect. All right. I trust everybody's doing very well. I'm super excited to be here. Been a week bouncing back from some degree of poor health, but significantly better now. All right. It's great, 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 great to have you here. Great to have you join us. And if you're reaching me on whatever platform, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, please do send in a message in the chat section. Let me know what you're here. Let me know where you're joining me from. And I'm super looking forward to having this conversation with you. All right. Emmy, super excited to be here. Thank you, Emmy, for joining. It's great to be here as usual. Um, Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. All right. So for the others joining in on YouTube, let me know you're here. For those joining in on Facebook, let me know you're here. And of course, LinkedIn. All our people on LinkedIn, it's the Connect. All right. So we're just waiting on for a few minutes for a few people to join in, and then we'll get the conversation going. It is the conversation that has to do with becoming the becoming conversation. And quite a number of people have reached out to me in the course of the week ever since the advertorials came out, to ask what exactly is this about. All right. So I need to know that you can hear me clearly. If you can hear me clearly, you know, go ahead and share with me. If you can hear me clearly, absolutely clearly, go ahead and tell me you can hear me clearly as well. All right. It's um It's the second episode in the month of July. We had such a phenomenal time last week with Charity Akpan, Gideon, and then Paul Uda, and Princess Onome Wukulu joining, but was in the back end all the while listening to the station on leadership. So this week, we're going to be talking about becoming. And what exactly is that? I mean, what is it about becoming? What does becoming even mean? What is this conversation about? All right, so do send me a message. I'm waiting for everybody to send me a word. Send me a message, reach out to me, talk to me, let me know. Send me a chat right now. Right now. Tell me what platform you're joining me from. Tell me what part of the world you're joining me from, and let's get the conversation going. It's going to be so super amazing. I am so excited. I'm so pumped up, to join you today. How's your weekend been? Has your weekend been good? What have you been up to? Anything special? What phenomenal thing have you been up to? I've had a weekend of rest, of cooking, of great engagements, and it's a super time to be alive. All right, it's a super time to be alive. All right, so I'm gonna be checking on my dashboard to see how everybody's doing on different platforms that we're on. Facebook, I greet you now. LinkedIn, much love. YouTube, double salute, double salute. I want everybody to let me know where you're joining from. Ooh, 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 ooh. Awesome, awesome. joining all the way from Ikonek, joining all the way from Ikonek in Akwa Ibom State. Much love to the state of my birth. Um, really happy to be with you. All right, so we're gonna get this conversation going on the way. I certainly respect and honor all of you that are joining me. And sorry, I don't have any rights to the music, but I think it's such a blessing. All right, Minister Grace and Kumama song. I love that song. I love that song so much. I was in church the other day, and my church choir performed the song. I think it was last Sunday, not today. Last Sunday, they performed the song, and it was absolutely amazing. I was just listening to the song, and I couldn't. The rendition was superb. Was just breathtaking, and we're certainly grateful for all the ministers of the gospel doing great things wherever they are. All right, so let's get straight to it. This is the Connect, and we're having the conversation on all right, we're going to be having the conversation on becoming. All right, so we're having the conversation on becoming. All right, so a couple of things that I said last week. Let me even just take off from where I rounded up last week. Before we get to it, I said there are three things that people must do to become three things. Woo! So that's a good place to start. All right. Three things that people must do. And I need you active in the comment section and giving me feedback. Three things people must do to become three things. Number one, you must ask, you must seek, and you must knock. You must ask, you must seek, and you must knock. And this is very instructive. This is primarily instructive. I've talked about this for a few years now, driving home this point. It's critical as a human being, as a person, to go through these three things. And these three things make up the process of your becoming. And then you will become three things, or either of three things, or a culmination or a mix of three things. You become a light, a voice, and a bridge. And every single thing that you will ever be in life, and every single measure of impact or influence that you ever have in life will be either through the platform of being a light, through the platform of being a voice, or platform of being a bridge. And it's phenomenal because when you think about it, I'm not getting ahead of myself now. When you think about it, you think, really, this is it. This is it. And this came to me a few years ago, from deep thoughts, deep meditation, thinking again. There were the things I was doing. And so the first thing was I began to ask questions. The questions are critical. Questions are just, pivotal to any kind of experience you want to have in life. Because too many people hear too many things. Too many people see too many things. Too many people know too many things. Too little people understand what they hear, what they see, and what they know. And understanding is the wise application of knowledge. Understanding is the output, is what ensures that you appropriately apply the knowledge you have to get the kind of outputs or the kind of outcomes that you want. And so the first stage in any part of life is that you have to be able to ask questions of yourself. And I talked about that last week. So I'm just doing a recap for a few minutes of what we ended last week with, and then we're shooting into our conversation of this week. And so you must ask questions. And questions are so integral to the kind of experience that you will have in life. Questions are so critical to the kind of outputs and to the kind of experience that you have in life. All right. And first of all, you must understand that questions unveil a thing to you. Questions are interrogatory. In other words, they allow you to uncover something, to have deeper insights to something, and to have deeper inkling and deeper understanding of the subject matter, so that you can have measures of mastery in that subject matter. The measure of mastery you have in a subject matter determines how applicable you can have of that subject matter that give the desired outcome or desired output that you want. So if you have mastery in communication, you are able to get a reaction, get an outcome, get an influence, make a desired impact, get a desired result. If you know how to be able to communicate in the way that you ought to. If you have mastery in finance, then you will know what to spend, what to hold back, what to invest, what to save, and everything that has around the parameters of finance, which is home to me, by the way. If you have mastery in your emotions or in relationships, then you see that you're able to go through the you understand that you can, mastery in relationship and mastery in life. You understand that storms are for surfers and calm waters are for swimmers. And so you don't try to swim in a storm. You surf in a storm, or you let the storm carry you. Amazing insight. You surf in the storm, you surf in the wavy water, and you swim in calm water. If you try to swim in stormy water, the Lord be with you. All right, the Lord be with you. So questions are essential. Now, the concept of mastery is such that in anything you must understand that life is relational. That's why I say many times, and I said to people before, I remember walking into a training room many years ago, one of the prestige business schools in Nigeria, and I was talking to top level executives. And I said to them, we're talking about resource management and all of that. And everybody was all pumped up and getting ready to hear me speak and talk about finance and all that, investment portfolios, funding, investitures and all of that. And I came and I said to them that the greatest resource that God has ever given to humanity is relationship. And everybody looked at me for a second like, has he lost his mind? And by the time we were done with the 2 hour session, everybody was like, oh my God, he's got his mind. Because I made it very clear to them, as I understand it, and I made it very clear to them that the greatest resource that God gave to humanity is relationship, whether it's relationship with him or relationship with the people that we interact with, or relationship with the people that we have supervisory function over, leadership capabilities or competencies over. Relationship is the greatest resource that carries you and enables you to be able to fulfill purpose, express your gifts, manifest in the way that the entirety of creation is awaiting to see. Relationship is what ensures that you're able to go through a season, come through a season, come out of a season, and be able to prepare others for a season, because you do know that you come through the things that you come through so that you can be a shining example to the people that are yet to come through it, to the people that are currently in it, so that you understand that anything that you have in life, that's why I say many times that in every situation you will learn either of two things. You either learn what to do or you learn what not to do. So therefore the learning is not necessarily, it's important for your own existence and for not just for your survival, but for your thriving in that situation. But much more than that, your experience is so that you can be able to lend it to others, so they necessarily do not have to go through what you have gone through in order to get the kind of results that you've gone through. If everybody around you goes through the kind of scenario and situation that you've gone through just to get the kind of results that you've gotten, then my friends, you have not done well. And so relationship is that vehicle that ensures that you are able to deal and maximize and seize every opportunity that's available to you. The greatest resource, and that's why, like every other resource that you have, you must be able to manage it. You must be able to know when to fold it, when to let it go. You must know when to nurture it, when to build it. You must know when to put it in the out season, when you take it, when you keep it close. You must know how exactly to deal, because a man or a woman that understands relationship in any ramification or in any context is the man who is able to take charge of life and have dominion in the truest sense in every sphere of their life. So the greatest resource is relationship, and I want you to know that. So you must ask questions. Let's go back to questions. All right. So questions are very key. Questions unveil not just the situation to you, questions unveil you to you. And I like that one because that for me is the crux of the matter. Because you must also understand that in every interaction that you have in life, it's relational. Every opportunity is relational. Every output is relational to your competencies and the utilization of your skills, talents, giftings, and competencies to the situation at hand. How did you apply yourself to get certain results? Everything is relational. So an understanding of your relation to life, your relation to anything, your relation to everything puts you in the position of mastery um, in and over that situation. Can I go further? Your understanding of yourself is key to your becoming who you are. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did I just say becoming who you are? Yes, sir. Yes, ma. Yes, I did. Because you are not, listen to me, guys. I believe this with the entirety of my heart. I have empirically researched this, tested this, seen this, walked this, learned this, read this, absorbed this, lived this to the point that I can tell you with a certain degree of authority that becoming, and there are many dictionary definitions to becoming, and I love a lot of them: unveiling, the manifestation, transformation, evolving, and all of that. I love all of that. But there's one that strikes me the most and is apt for the context of this conversation. And it is that becoming is beginning to be. Woo! Beginning to be. What are you beginning to be? You're beginning to be who you are. So becoming is not you. Wait, so you understand this in the right context. Becoming is not you mutating to become, from Clark Kent to Superman, from Peter Parker to Spider-Man. No, that's not what becoming is. Becoming is really you beginning to become who you are. That means that there is a who you are. Did you get that? There is a who you are. If the Bible says that God said that Jeremiah, I have had plans for you. I've known what you will become, what you will become. In other words, before you were born, there is a you. And I hope I haven't lost you yet. I have quite a bit to share with you today. Before you were born, there was a you. There is a predestination. And the predestination is there is a you, and the world is eagerly awaiting the manifestation of you. The world is not eagerly awaiting. The world isn't awaiting the evolving. The world is waiting the manifestation. So therefore, it means that there is beyond the layers of charade, the layers of peer pressure, the layers of influence, the layers of succumbing, the layers of pretending. Oh, the layers of falsity. Beyond all that, confusion, not understanding purpose, not knowing who you are, not knowing where you're going to, confused about what you want to be, how you want to be, why you want to be, there's you. So your assignment is to first of all come to the realization of who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, that's becoming. That's what becoming is. You're not going to change. Your ears are not going to, grow out of your head. You're not going to get paws come out. No, hopefully not. Hopefully not. You're going to become. That's why there's an inward transformation. You're going to become who you are. And so the first step to that process, or to that journey, or to that pathway, is to ask. And I said last week that I was going to, throw a whole lot more lights in it, and that's what I'm doing today. Is to ask. And many times the cardinal questions of life. If you listen to me speak over the decades, over the years, you understand that the AU cardinal questions of life, and many people have always tweaked those questions around. There are three of them, three questions, all right. And you probably have heard them. And many people talk about them and all of them. But the question is not what you've heard. The question is what you paid attention to, given thought to, allowed to take root within you, so that you can have the fruits thereof. That's what the question, because you can't have fruits without roots. Oh, that rhymes. I like the way that sounds. You can't, somebody write that down. You can't have fruits without roots. Good. Now, so you have the question of the first question of the three cardinal questions, yeah? So three cardinal questions is number one, who are you? You probably have heard that before. Number two, what are you doing here? Number three, where are you going to from here? So the first is who are you? The second is what are you doing here? The second is where are you going to from here? So the first who are you is synonymous with identity. It speaks to identity. Now I'll talk about that in a bit. The second one, what are you doing here, speaks of purpose. What are you doing here? Why are you here? All right. It speaks of purpose. And the third, where are you going to from here? It speaks of long-term intention. Now, I could take those three questions and break them down into 20 questions, or maybe even 40 questions. Bottom line is, because I could put fillers in between. Where are you? Where do you want to go? All right. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go to from here? How do you go to from where you want to go to? Do you have what you need to go from where you are to where you want to get to? What do you need to go from where you are to where you want to get to? How do you get what you need to go from where you are to where you want to get to? And what will it take for you to get what you need to get to where you want to get to? So you could take those questions, break them down, but for the purpose of this conversation, let's just restrict it to three questions. All right. So identity, the first speaks of identity, the second speaks of long term of purpose, and then the third speaks of long-term intention. And these questions basically unveil yourself to yourself. They unveil your competencies, your capabilities. They unveil your readiness, your willingness. Remember, ask, seek, and knock. And I talked about that last week. Yeah, you remember? You remember? Right. So you ask, and the questions unveil you to yourself. The questions unveil your innermost desire. It unveils what you really want to do, what you think you can do. Even questions your understanding of a situation. It questions where you are. It questions your understanding of the timeline of your journey, and a whole lot around that. Questions are good. Questions are key. As a matter of fact, if you're not asking yourself questions per time, there's a very high chance that you're in a state of stagnancy. And for you to even come out of that state of stagnancy, um, you have to ask yourself questions. You have to ask yourself questions. So questions are extremely key. Questions are absolutely key. Because I'll tell you how important questions are. For example, let's look at the book of Genesis, chapter 3, right? Genesis chapter 3. So human beings and man ask themselves all these questions. What happens when God asks you questions? Think about it. So the all-knowing God, the Almighty God, the one that created the entirety of the heavens and the earth, the one that is in the heavens and as the earth, with all its democracy, all its infrastructure, all its technology, all its advancement, all its wealth and riches, and seemingly powerful people and all of that, has all of that as his footstool. Ask you questions. The all-knowing God, the omnipotent, the omniscient, the all-knowing God, the one who was, who is, and even yet to come, the one that is everything, everywhere, and at the same time, all time. Ask you questions. Surely the questions he's asking is not for his benefits. Think about it. The questions he is asking you is for your benefit. In other words, what questions are designed to do is to call you to come to the place of consideration. Every question requires that you think and come to the place of consideration. Consideration, therefore, begets reasoning. Reasoning gives you a strategy and a plan, and thereafter can there be execution. Did you get that? All right. So the first question that God asked humanity, remember, was in the book of Genesis. All right. I hope you do remember your Bible. Book of Genesis, chapter 3. And God asked Adam in the Garden of Eden, after they had eaten the fruits, and you know all that story. After they eaten the fruits and all of that, and they went and they were trying to sort themselves out and get themselves all clothed and all of that, and and so God asked Adam, "Where are you?" Think about that for a second. Where are you? So, in for purpose of this conversation, you could put it in any context that you want. Where are you in terms of your life, your plan, your dreams? Where are you in terms of your vision for life? Where are you in terms of hi Chimaka, how you doing? Where are you in terms and awesome ministration today, by the way, Chimaka? Where are you in terms of your finance? Where are you in terms of your goals for 2022? Where are you geographically? Because many times your geographical location could determine um, what goes on around you and how energized you are to achieve the things that you so desire to achieve. Where are you? Where are you in terms of your planning? Where are you in terms of your life goals? Where are you in terms of anything just so you can think about? The question that God asked Adam was, where are you? The question I'm asking you today is, where are you? In terms of obedience, where are you? In terms of your walk, your goals that you set at the beginning of the year, the desires of your heart, where are you? In terms of your purpose and your discovery of yourself, where are you? And I'm asking you that today. Because hear me, guys. If you only will seek to know, and that question is not about, that question is not about, it's not supposed to put you down. It actually liberates you to be able to soar, to be able to fly. It liberates you to be able to open up yourself to immense possibilities that will deliver you to you. Woo! Where are you? Where are you? And so I want everybody to just, you don't have to necessarily write that down here, but I do hope you have a journal beside you, because journaling is extremely key to your walk in life. And right now, then where am I? Where am I? Where am I? In my relationships, where am I? In my finance, where am I? In my career, where am I? In my family, where am I? In my as a human being on earth with an assignment and a purpose, a vision, and my multiple assignments, as I said last week, where am I? Where are you? Because questions are so critical, questions are so important. Questions open you to questions, introduce you to you. Where are you? The next question that God asked was after, Adam and now said to him, we were naked and we were trying to get all covered up and all of that. The next question is one of the most profound questions I've ever had. And it was, who told you? Who told you that your situation is acceptable? Can I talk to you? Who told you that you don't have what it takes to become what you want to be? Who told you that everything that was coming up against you was sufficient to take you out? Who told you, oh, can I go deeper? Who told you were a failure? Who told you you are the worst of the worst? Who told you you are the scum of the earth? Who told you that it was impossible for you to be a high achiever, a 7-star performer? Who told you? Who told you that everything that you had to settle for you had to settle for it and that you could not achieve more or you could not do more. Who told you? Because when you take that into consideration, my goodness, you begin to question some of the beliefs that you have. And this session is not necessarily about limiting beliefs. Perhaps in next month, when I'm having my one-on-one session like this next month, I do one every month. Other Sundays I have guests. When I'm having my one, maybe we'll talk. Maybe if you remind me, we'll talk about limiting beliefs and all, because limiting beliefs keep you, as the word implies, they limit you. They literally strangle you like mortgage, debt grip. They grip you and hold you down so that you can function for as much as you can, but within the confines of a boundary. Who told you? For every time that you gave up on something, you had better make sure that nobody on the face of the earth will have done better with what you have and the resources you have and the network that you have and the connections that you have and the giftings that you have and the skills that you have, the favor that you have, the grace that you have, and the God that you have, that nobody could have done better. When you're satisfied with all those checks, then you can give up on it. But if there be somebody else on the face of the earth that has close to enough resources as you do, just as similar to the kind of network that you do, shares and enjoys the kind of grace that you enjoy, and serves the kind of God that you serve, and can go through that situation and that experience, all right, can go through that situation and that experience, then you better be sure that you've sorted that out before you say like we're having a bit of a network connection. I'm checking to see that everything is all right here. It is all right. I'm back. Okay. So who told you? So think about all the things that you told, and many times people tell you things. It's okay, and because people will always talk. People will tell you stuff. They tell you what you can do. Everybody's an expert in your matter. Everybody knows how to do things better than you have done in your matter when they're not wearing your shoes. So it's okay for people to offer their opine. It's okay for people to give their opinions and stuff. It's okay for people to say things. All right. Okay. But I'm even more concerned about not just what they've said. I'm more concerned about what you've believed and in extension, what you have told yourself. Because the heart of your entire experience on earth starts with you. The principle of your experience, remember, your experience starts with you. And I'll get to that in a bit. By the time we're done today, I promise you that you understand it significantly better. I promise you. So they can tell you stuff, that's okay. But what have you told yourself? Because I've come across way too many people that have talked themselves out of the game of life, so much so that it's even impossible for you to talk them back into the game of life. And when I talk about life, I'm not talking about breathing. I'm talking about you recognizing, utilizing, and maximizing opportunities that are inherent in your space. And that's life. What have you told yourself? You're beginning to be who you are is very dependent on what you've told yourself about you. That's why they say that the worst kind of lie that you can lie is the lie that you lie to yourself. Have you heard that? I've heard that many times. Have you heard that? I said, don't lie to yourself. If you lie to yourself, lie to yourself. Because you know what? The human brain your brain trusts you. Let me speak local. Your brain trusts you, die. Your brain trusts you. So when you tell yourself that you can't make it, your brain is respectful. It will honor your word. It will shut down the components that allow for creativity and put you in survival mode. And anytime you are in survival mode, you lose creativity. That's why when you're in the middle of a storm, the first thing you have to do is calm down. You have to calm down, because it's when you are calm and your mind is above the storm that you can begin to think creatively. And thinking creatively is what allows you to come out of that storm. So questions are important. So because I don't want to spend too much time on questions, I could spend the whole day talking about questions, unpacking the kind of questions you should be asking yourself, and that's key. Maybe we'll do a masterclass on that sometime. On practical questions you should ask yourself, because questions unveil you to you. Questions will show you the roadmap. There are questions you must ask before anything you want to life, business. It starts with questions. Questions. If you look at the business model canvas, right? It's all about 9 components on the business model canvas, and they're all questions. They are all questions, because questions unveil. Questions literally bring the future to you. Woo! Questions it's the future to you. Questions provide clarity, provide understanding, deep understanding, and which is very critical and very pivotal to any kind of experience that you can have. Questions. Now that you've asked questions, as I said last week, now that you've asked questions, it's so important that having asked the questions naturally, if you're a rational person, hear me, man, questions naturally spur you to the action of searching, of seeking. Because when you ask a question, it's not just in asking a question, it is now in, okay, so I've asked the question, what do I need? What do I need? Where can I get what I need? Then you begin to seek for, you can get what you need. That's seeking. The magic is in the action. The questions presents you, brings you to the table. The seeking allows you to be able to sit at the table. So the magic is in the action. Questions initiate or herald actions that bring you to the place of clarity, understanding, bring you to the place of equipment, and bring you to the place of, very importantly, hear this, guys, validation. The process of seeking validates your journey and makes you an authority in the story of your life. In your journey to becoming, your journey to mastery, your journey to lead, your journey to being, your journey to being. It's a journey. I thought being was we are being. No, it's a journey to be. So the magic is in seeking. The magic is in searching. The magic is looking at, what do I need? So you look for the wool that you need, the right kind of partners. What do I need? The right kind of competence. You do the courses that you need to do. You go to school if you have to. You get the right kind of mentors if you have to. You focus on the right kind of models if you have to. The journey does that for you. The seeking does that for you. The seeking also looks for opportunities where you can enhance your strengths and where you can staff, STARVE, not STARVE. You don't starve your weaknesses, because you see, what you starve will tell on you later. You staff your weaknesses. In other words, you look for the right kind of competencies and look for ways and methodologies by which you can upscale your competencies in your weak areas from threshold to differentiating. All right. So you staff your weaknesses. It's the seeking that does that to you. Remember, we're taught with this is the becoming conversation. The seeking does that to you. And after you've sought, what happens while you seek is that in the process of seeking, you learn. Remember, you will learn either of two things. You will learn what to do or you will learn what not to do. You will learn who you are, and you will learn who you are not. You will learn what you stand for, and you will learn what you don't stand for. And so in you all learn where to go and you learn where not to go. So that as you go through that journey of seeking, of search, of looking for answers and solution and clarity and seeking illumination and seeking skills and seeking resources and seeking competence, what you do is that you build yourself up and you equip yourself. Little wonder I say to you many times that you are wired to win and you're equipped to excel. It is in the process of seeking that you enable the wiring, and it's in the process of seeking that you are equipped to excel. So the seeking part is absolutely important. The seeking part is what we normally refer to as process. Process. And process is very key. Process is absolute. The problem with too many people are willing to go through the process or to change the process or circumvent the process. And what happens many times is that if you go through from asking to the stage, you will lack the prerequisite capacity to be able to handle what is at the knocking stage. Because hear me now, at the knocking stage are opportunities, blessings, everything that you have ever desired. But what you've desired without the right capacity will kill you. What you desire without the right competency will humiliate you. What you desire without the right shoulder to carry it will crush you. So the process of seeking